If you feel like something is missing in your life, please watch the rest of this video because I would love to break that idea in half for you. Comparison is the thief of joy. One of the reasons why so many people feel like they're missing out on life or that something is missing from their life is just because they only know how to compare themselves. Because school didn't teach us how to be in our bodies, school taught us how to use our heads. But we are more than just heads. We have bodies. And specifically, we have a way of using our bodies that allows us to actually use that whole comparison thing in a beneficial way and not a detrimental way. Let me show you what I mean. Now, this is a human design body graph. If you do not already have one of these, go to my website, plug in your birth information, generate one. It's free. This is essentially an energetic blueprint of your physical body. And just like our physical bodies, our heads make up that much of it, and our bodies make up this much of it. Now, most people are stuck in that something is missing because their focus is here in these undefined centers. These undefined centers are really good at picking up information from the external world. Specifically in this body graph, we have what to think coming from the outside world, how to think about it coming from the outside world, and also this question of do I need to prove myself coming from the ego. Now, your body graph will probably look different from this, but you will definitely have some undefined centers and some defined centers. The way to end feeling like something is missing is to stop living out of these undefined centers as though they're defined centers. Meaning, if you think you have to prove yourself, maybe just like celebrate and congratulate someone who's doing a great job of like being first or being in control or being the best. Instead of thinking that you have to think in a certain type of way, why don't you just recognize other people for their brilliant way of thinking? Instead of being the one that's always deciding what to think about, why don't you celebrate other people for bringing great topics and problems and ideas and inspiration to the table? Those undefined centers are supposed to be in a state of recognition of the external world, not comparison. We are an incredibly diverse species, but if we do not use that diversity as a strength and we're just constantly in this state of comparison, like, oh man, I wish my mind worked like that person's, or I wish my sacral and my sexual creative energy worked like that person's, yes, you will feel like something is missing. But when you actually learn how to live in harmony with your definition, when you learn to accept the vehicle that you were born into, the whole question of like, what's missing from my life will just evaporate. Because then you realize nothing is missing from you. This is why confidence is so freaking attractive. It's because when people know what they're bringing to the table, when they know their value, when they know what they can do consistently and reliably, that confidence holds a space and says, hey, I'm good at this. I need someone who's good at this. And then we can do something that's incredible. We can work together. And as they say, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. That ability to compare ourselves to other people is actually a very, very useful tool, but only if you're embodied, only if you actually know how to use everything below the neck. Now, for anyone that wants more information on this, I have super detailed reports on my website for $20. You just generate a body graph, and then you can actually read about each of these centers and what their normal function is and what their distorted function is. And this is like a 40 to 50 page report, depending on what your body graph looks like. And this stuff goes really, really deep. Like really, really deep. There's so much information in here. And again, if you want one of those, just visit ReikiMarco.com, generate your body graph, and you'll see the button to buy right below. Now, it's not enough to just buy a report, read it, internalize it, and like have a new identity. That's, to me, it's not enough. You have to start experimenting and seeing for yourself whether or not this stuff is legit. Now, the only reason I've been practicing it for 10 years is because I've done enough experiments and I've seen enough people do experiments to know, oh yeah, this is the most legit thing that we have in 2024. I promise you, nothing is missing from your life. You just got to get into the right headspace and actually start using your body.